Hello. Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. I hope you guys can all see me well and clear. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But yeah, the inflation numbers in the US are coming out in about 9 minutes from now, so I thought I should quickly stream this and share this with all of y'all to see as well. For anybody that's just tuning in right now, let us quickly go to the expected value. It could actually be that it's in another hour, right? I think it's might be one more hour. So it's 1 hour and 50 minutes. I'm sorry for the misconception right there. I might have shared it wrong in my Telegram as well. But yeah, let's quickly prepare for that, as usually these are quite interesting. And before we get into it, we're going to obviously share all the news of everything that's been going around today, everything that's been interesting, and just, you know, kind of our usual episode or so. I think because I've been gone for a couple of days, there's a pretty juicy story to share. And I think we're just going to kind of circumvent, or how do you say it? Like, bundle it all into one cool little live stream right here. I'm also thinking, is the sync? Is it in sync? Are you guys, is the voice thing matching up nicely? I think so. Oh, sorry guys, I need to share it. I've shared it wrong. In one. Yeah, okay. I accidentally said 27 minutes. It's 1 hour and 27. We have 1 hour and 8 minutes to go before the inflation data. Cool. Perfect. All right. Maf says, hey, I'm not putting money in the markets right now. I think I will experience more lows on stocks. A lot of people have that idea right now. Anyway, let's just quickly get a core story going, and then we'll dive into what you guys are thinking. Right now, today, been a pretty interesting day for the crypto market. Nothing too crazy volatile. Bitcoin up roughly 1% today. Ethereum 1.3%. XRP also roughly 1%. And in general, not that spectacular on the cryptos. A couple of coins are up a lot more, like GMX, AGIX, Phantom. Phantom I hold a little bit of, but GMX and Singularity Net I have $0 into. Are you guys holding any of these cryptos right here? HBAR, one of my favorite cryptos by far, and Render. I've seen this crypto come by so many times. People are so excited about it. Over the week, however, it's one of the worst performers, I believe. Yeah, it is down 22 or 23% over the last week. The worst ones being Optimism, FXS, and also AGIX, which is kind of funny. Over the last hour, AGIX is also up 4% and Render up 4%, which is wild. Crow is up 1%, which is the third. And worst are Binary X, HBAR, unfortunately. And yeah, just in general, not that much negative stuff going on over the last hour. HBAR is popping off over the last couple of days, by the way, guys. HBAR has been having a pretty good little time period here. I've been looking at it, and every single time I take a look, it's been doing pretty good. It's been doing pretty good. Hopefully you guys have noticed that too. Anyway, guys, if you're just joining the chat right now, make sure you quickly put in the chat box, you know, where you watch it from. We always put that in. And let me also think yeah, I'm just putting in daily market up. You know what I think we're going to do, guys? Is I might have to just make sure we have one day that we always, or like one time a day that we always share the news of the day, you know? Because there's news coming out every single day, but I post it at random times. I might just have to do one live stream or one like video every single day at a set time, so you guys know when to, you know, see the news update. It might just make people's lives a little bit easier if they have a consistent time frame as to when they get their update. Just something I'm looking into. Anyway, what's most important right now by far is the whole situation with the SEC. And I think we might have to dive a little bit more specifically into it in a later video. But just to give you guys some idea, the last couple of days have been absolutely wild. And when I say absolutely wild, guys, I'm not kidding. It's been so crazy to see what they've been up to, and they have literally declared a war on crypto. Hopefully you guys have all seen it, but now regarding the ETFs, we could talk about this for hours, but it's not happening anytime soon. Here right now, they're saying, okay, Grayscale's legal battle with the US SEC about its spot Bitcoin ETF will be live soon in court. I still don't think they're going to win it, though. I just think it's an attempt to kind of fight for their rights, but I don't think it's going to pull through because the SEC seems to have their way with getting things wrong in the crypto space, especially in the US. But more importantly, obviously, was the whole Paxos situation. Hopefully, you guys have all been aware of it. For anybody that does not know, and you need to be initiated into the matter, what basically happened was there is a stablecoin provider in the US, in New York, I believe it is, and the NYDFS, the New York Department of Financial Services, basically stepped in and said, hey, this whole situation that Paxos has going on with BUSD, Binance US dollar, yeah, we're not really liking that too much. It's a little bit iffy-wiffy because you might be selling unregistered securities. How does that work? How can you sell unregistered securities when it's a stablecoin? Nobody seems to really understand, but that's exactly what the US SEC is trying to attempt right now, and that is obviously what took the entire crypto market down a notch. I actually think it happened twice. I think the crypto market went below $22,000 or like a little dip further than that twice because of SEC pieces. What was their first piece again, guys? Their second piece right now was the whole Paxos situation. And their first piece was, the stopping of staking against Kraken. That was also certainly a very big slam. A slam dunk for sure. That was definitely not nice for the crypto market. And at the end of the day, none of these pieces are nice for the crypto market, but they need to happen, right? They need to happen. Anyway, just quickly checking out the chat box again. We have Yannick, cheers from Thailand. Hey, what's up, man, Yannick? We have Ross says, big short on ETH and will buy more if it goes up. A hedging strategy, I presume. Okay. Math says, XRP is on a nice LVL. Good news could break the downtrend and take cryptos to another great moment. Obviously, we have hopefully got ourselves the massive XRP news in, within like 6 weeks from now, which would obviously be crazy for the markets. And I think XRP is going to really take over a lot at that point, but we'll see. Very says, let's start the utilities bull run. Let's go. Good morning, Dusty. Good morning. Utility bull run still might be a little ways off. I mean, a lot of cryptos like XDC, HBAR, QNT, XRP, depending on what type of utility you're trying to talk about here. But a lot of those coins are only going to pop off when people really start realizing the true potential behind them. IOTA is one of those other ones. I guess Chainlink even for that matter as well, right? Chainlink is one of the most used technologies out there, yet it's quite underappreciated if you ask me. But that's just my thoughts. Math says, SEC case just made me accumulate more XRP, so thanks, Gary. Yeah, I understand that. For the long term, all this negative stuff, that's, I'd say that's not a bad thing. If you're a long-term crypto accumulator, everything that the SEC is doing right here is not per definition bad because it allows you to buy more crypto, right? So from that perspective, you should actually be thanking the SEC for doing all this to you. I guess you're kind of right. I kind of can't go against that grain. Anyway, but what they've been doing against BUSD is kind of crazy though, because we right now are not so sure if all these other stablecoins are going to be fine. Why would BUSD be security? It's a big setback for Binance. We all know it. This is what Ivan Kashkovsky, FX and crypto strategist at UBS, a major bank, has said. It remains to be seen whether and when Binance will be able to find a US-based partner for its stablecoin again. The latter appears to be crucial in the wake of U.S. regulation on stablecoins that is coming sooner rather than later. Indeed, they have been, the U.S. has been heavily looking into it, and it's not been nice. But overall, this is not fearful for Binance in any way, shape, or form. I actually pointed that out earlier already. Let me quickly see if I can find it again. Yeah, so here's CZ's thread. A thread. In summary, BUSD is issued and redeemed by Paxos, which is the company that just got sued, and funds are safe. We were informed by Paxos they have been directed to cease minting new BUSD by the New York Department of Financial Services. Paxos is regulated by the NYDFS. BUSD is a stablecoin wholly owned and managed by Paxos, and as a result, BUSD market cap will only decrease over time. Paxos will continue to service the product and manage redemptions. Paxos also assured us the funds are safe and fully covered by reserves in their banks, with their reserves audited many times by various audit firms already. Anybody that's just joining the chat right now, the inflation numbers are coming out in exactly 1 hour from now. But I decided to kind of stream for a little bit longer to get you guys all the news and everything that's going on, and then end off with the inflation numbers. But in about a little bit, we're going to talk about our expectations and what's going to happen to the crypto market as well, whether or not we think it's going to go up or down, and what some others think about it. So sit tight for that. We're going to go over everything. And everybody, make sure you press that like button if you're watching the stream. I hope that today is going to be a day where we could get above 500 likes. Very superficial, but it's Valentine's Day, so show some love. I even put up a little balloon here for you guys, all right, for Valentine's Day. For everybody that's watching, to get you guys in the Valentine's spirit. So, yeah, that's not working. Yeah, that sure is not going to work. No. All right, the idea was nice. In practice, not working, but there we go. It's a balloon. It drifts away. That's what they do. That's what they do. Lessa says, hey, Dusty and folks in chat at work, but listening. All right. Very good to hear. Jesper says, hey, yo, what's up, Jesper? XRP will start the utilities bull run soon, Dusty. It could be within 6 weeks, right? Let's quickly check here. How many of you guys are holding XRP? Because if that lawsuit settles within 6 weeks, how crazy would that be for the price, huh? I can only imagine what would happen. It would be absolutely wild. It would be fascinating, though, to see. It would really be fascinating. Let me quickly share the stream on Twitter as well. There we go. Just quickly sharing the stream. Cool. We have done it. There we go. All right, there's because we understand the whole CZ thread, right? Where he's just saying, hey, Binance is safe. It's called Binance USD, but it's really not that big a deal. Binance will continue to support BUSD, and it can be redeemed until a very long time still. I think, I don't remember the exact date on it, but it was a very long time for the matter. Miles pointed out, however, why exactly is a stable coin considered a security? It's not an investment of money necessarily. It's like a storage of money. Common enterprise, okay, I guess, because what's the enterprise exactly? I guess the stable part. Expectation of profit is garbage. That's not true at all. To be derived from the efforts of others, that's talking about the expectation of profit, because, well, it just doesn't work. Under the securities law, it doesn't make sense for it to be a security. Then again, I'm still holding some BUSD, even though it's dead, but since it's properly backed, it doesn't matter too much. But for anybody wondering, should you be holding BUSD? I don't think so, because I think it's going to die out. It doesn't make sense for it to be revived, but it is safe in terms of reserves, so there's no need to just... I didn't go out of my way and run to a freaking laptop or whatever to cash out my BUSD, because it's not that big a deal. I think Binance is liquid enough to figure everything out if there was an issue, but Paxos is fine with that. They had the money. But this is a really good moment, I guess, for USDT and USDC, as they're probably seeing a big upsurge, as BUSD is 7th here in the rankings. I'm not sure how much has gone down in market cap here, how much has already gone out of it. Yeah, I'm not sure if we can actually see that somewhere. The market cap, yeah, we can. All right. So no, in terms of market cap even, it's not actually gone down at all. Going from 16.1 or 16.2 at the peak 2 weeks ago, 16.3, let's say $16.3 billion to 15.9. So people have also not been going too mad or too crazy about the situation, which I'd say is good, depending on how you view it. You know, you could say it's bad from the perspective that, well, people are not finding urgency at all, but and that they don't understand maybe. But do you guys think BUSD is not dead? I can't see a way in which BUSD is still going to hold up now that they've basically said, hey, we're screwing you over. Even though it can't be a security in any way, shape, or form. So I also don't understand that. I guess we're going to figure it out over the next couple of weeks, huh? They might survive after... Voice crack. They might survive after some sort of new ruling or whatever, but for right now, it doesn't look to be that way. And we all know that what's coming up next, and it's going to be coming up pretty quickly, I'd say, is blend of 14 botanicals. Cola flavored drink. Okay. And cola energy drink. Organic. Interesting. the Fed is bearing down on crypto's on-ramps. Yeah, they're going to start looking, and that's what's going to happen as well. I honestly think this, guys. If right now you're in the crypto space, but you mostly have money on your banks, and you want to get it into crypto, especially in the US, over the next couple of weeks and months, it's going to become more and more and more difficult, as they're going to really try hard to do everything in their power, to make sure that you can't take money from their system and put it into the decentralized ecosystem. It's honestly what's happening right now, and they're going to keep on trying to make that even harder and even harder and even harder. That's something just to keep in the back of your head. Too much sugar in your drink? I think so, yeah. I think it's not a good drink. It's organic, but sugary. See how sugar making you rage like this? Yeah, but it's honestly the truth, though. People don't realize enough. The more money that flows from these banks to the decentralized ecosystem, the more money they lose, right? Every single dollar that's deposited into the banking system kind of stays in that circle of being infinite money for them. And so the moment that people take it out, they're like, oh, well, we've just lost all that like infinite money circling machine, right? Because the money goes, in theory, and this is actually how it goes in the banking space as well. It goes from bank to bank to bank to bank to some sort of investment potentially. But it keeps getting diluted by lending it out to another party. If you guys don't know this, just kind of look up for a second how money works in terms of how they lend it out. Which is why it was so interesting that Kraken had to take down their staking, because I understand there need to be rules in place for explaining exactly how the money is lent out and how exactly it all works. But understand for a second, most people, 99% of people, don't know what's happening to the money that they have in the bank. Or do you guys disagree with me here? Thrada says, did I miss the inflation numbers? No, they've not come out yet. I believe it's 1 hour from now. I hope I'm not mistaken, right? UTC plus 1. I think I'm UTC plus 4. So yeah, about 50 minutes left before we get the numbers. So yeah, the inflation, a little side note, to just get into that, has been going downhill rapidly from our December numbers, which are officially the reference for November, right? But they came out in December at 7.1. December numbers at 6.5. And then right now, the expected number at 6.3. Obviously, inflation going down is a nice thing for most measures. I'd personally say it kind of depends on your perspective of things. Inflation can be a good thing, but that's mostly because the measures to go against the inflation, it's just my broader theory of how markets work, right? More inflation generally means that business is booming to a certain degree, you know, because if things are doing really, really well, you have that little circle of why things become more expensive, because things are going better. But it's going too well where it's kind of going worse. It's so fun to explain always, that little circle of things. I've covered this 1,000 times in every stream. I go about the FOMC and about how the interest rate affects things. You know why the interest rate increases to get inflation down? In general, it's about the cost of money. We talked about it before, but let's say you're a property developer and you want to build a new property ranch, whatever, $100 million ticket. Usually they go and finance this. So they take out a loan to purchase this because that's mostly what they do. If the interest rate number is 0, 1, 0.2, 2.4, doesn't matter. The cost of this capital is relatively low. So they're going to spend. And so they've spent the money. So there's more jobs, right? So people will take those and more people have their jobs, which is why the jobless numbers and whatnot are so important as well. So usually, because there's so much demand, well, more people go work. They generally have more income. Because they have more income, they're going to spend more in these stores. And because they spend more in these stores, the prices can go up. And things kind of go in a little circle of that nature, basically, where things just keep getting better and better and inflation goes up and up and up. To combat this, you need to get the interest rate higher, because at that point, the cost of capital is going to be higher. Theoretically speaking, even though it's a lagging indicator, people keep more in their savings accounts now because, well, before it was not worth it. So you're you have a higher propensity to consume at the current moment. You're just going to spend more and more and more. Even though you're always going to spend, even if the savings rate is like 1,000% or so, you're always going to spend something. But the higher it is, the longer you're going to wait to spend this. And for these major productions, I guess it's similar, where if the interest rate is really low, you're like, oh, let's go, let's build, let's make this money, let's get this bread, yada, yada, yada. And if the interest rate is all of a sudden 17%, you're like, well, I ain't going to borrow no money to start no new project. Which is why it's like a little bit of a circle. High inflation is showcasing things are good, but it's a lagging indicator. High interest rate is showing things are bad from most perspectives. So the lower the inflation goes, it's kind of showcasing the economy is like going from a nice period to a worse period, the way I sometimes see it. But I think I actually have a tweet here liked as well from Watcher here. It's kind of funny how these different bankers think differently about the situation, right? We've talked before about Robert Kiyosaki thinking, oh no, things are going to get way worse from here. He's a big advocate for saying that things are about to get crazy in a negative manner. I don't know if I have it open. I don't think so. But he is basically the guy. Oh, here we do. Giant crash incoming, depression possible, Fed forced to print billions in fake money. By 2025, gold at $5,000, silver at $500, and Bitcoin at $500,000. Why? Because faith in the US dollar, fake money will be destroyed. Gold and silver, God's money, Bitcoin, people's money, take care. The counter to this is, well, we have to look at what the inflation numbers are doing. And as of this point, the job numbers are showcasing things are still astray. But the inflation numbers indeed have peaked a while ago, I think in like June of last year at 9.1%. And they've been going on a steady decline, which showcases that indeed the Fed might ease their rate hikes throughout the next 6 months or so. They might actually already be able to tune it down lower. Again, these are lagging indicators, but it showcases that the amount of increase in price is deteriorating significantly, meaning that their measures have been working. And so the amount of measures that they don't need to increase it by that much more to get this inflation now lower and lower and lower, which means that the chance of a recession and a hard landing keeps getting smaller as well, depending on the job reports. But to say that the bear market is over, even though I don't agree with it from a fundamental perspective, it's easier to understand based on the numbers that we're seeing right now, that all the negativity is over because things are getting better again. If we're just looking at the numbers for most indices and whatnot, it doesn't necessarily make sense. And from the perspective that we haven't seen the craziest of crashes. But yeah, it's kind of funny how these different banks have different opinions. And then there's also such outspoken advocates saying a giant crash is coming, like Barry Silbert, right? Or, no, not Barry Silbert. Michael J. Burry, I think, right? The big short guy, and Robert Kiyosaki talking about such a big crash. There's also two sides to this, though. Almost every single major bank in the U.S. has had two sides. They, from one side, say, no, we're surely going to crash. And the other side says, no, this is going to be the best period ever. I think if you look up Wells Fargo analyst, you'll see a couple of analysts who've said that the market is going to go into a crazy peak, and a couple of others who said, no, the major crash is about to happen. It's because they have so many analysts that they'll always have both sides, and this is just nitpicking. This is just picking the one that suits your narrative and posting that because they probably said both. And Robert Kiyosaki is a contrarian, and the same thing goes for Burry. They always say things are going to go crash like crazy, because even though you're wrong for a couple of months, at some point you'll be right. And this is something so important, guys, this is why you should always be careful listening to somebody's narrative on social media. If I keep shouting, we're going to crash, or I can say it in a different way. If I keep saying a crazy typhoon is going to happen at some point, I might be wrong for the first 3 years, but at some point I'll be right. And I could just say, you see, I called it. I said it all this time. And that's what guys like Robert do. If you always say, money is fake, you have to understand this, it's going to crash. Well, at some point it's gonna. It might take a couple of years, but you're gonna be right eventually. And the same thing is right for our Mr. Big Short. He was right once with calling out that major short, which is why he got the movie, and he was such a good guy and cool, yada, yada. However, ever since that point, he just kept on saying, yeah, we're going to crash again. It's going to happen again. Yeah, duh. You know, it's been like freaking 14 years since the last time it happened. It's going to happen again eventually. So you calling it out is not making you the big shot unless you're able to call it out exactly or something like that. But just saying, hey, some signs are off and it's going to happen. We all know it. The question is just when exactly. But in this case here, I'm not so sure what you can do with this information except for just getting yourself in these assets which are like hedges against that system. What I always tell people is, well, make sure that you're always prepared for anything that's about to happen by getting yourself into every single one of these classes. And one of the easiest ways to do it is by just buying either cryptocurrencies or getting yourself some gold, getting yourself some silver, just some like against the traditional system. Hey, Mr. Rover, I thought you were also streaming. Do you also do OnlyFans? Soon. Rover says, how will we write one day? For sure. Ender says, CPI numbers come out today. What time? In about 45 minutes from now. Oh, you're going to start your stream, huh? The moment that the inflation numbers come out. I see. So, Trata, you did not miss the inflation numbers. They're coming out in 45 minutes. Again, the reason I like to do it before is people are so anxious, thinking what's going to happen. Again, the situation is looking pretty good right now. Most things are showcasing like a better economy, if you guys get my drift. It's kind of strange. Why are you guys saying numbers in the chat all of a sudden? I see 7.3. Somebody's saying 5.6. 6.2. Why? No, the forecast is 6.3, and the previous number was 6.5. So we'd go down by 20 or 0.2%. From 6.5 to 6.3, probably. Right? But we'll still have to see exactly what it is. But this is the most likely scenario. And if we end up higher than 6.3, usually this is how it works. We're negative in the market. So meaning, the inflation is higher. Even though theoretically speaking, that's a bullish thing for cryptocurrencies, it usually impacts the major indices negatively. So if it's 6.3 and above, market will most likely not do so well, expecting negative results. If the number is 6.3 or below, it's probably just going to be 6.3. But anyway, expect bullish things are just nice things to flow, because that's usually how these things go. But we've seen the general decline here. People are expecting, and I think if we look at the numbers here, the majority of people are just expecting 6.3 or better. It's going to be, regardless of the situation, better than the 6.5 that we've had before. It is nearly impossible that the number actually comes out at 6.5 again, if you ask me. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. What do you guys think the inflation number is going to be? Let's just quickly get it in here. You can look at this afterwards, right? Even after the stream is finished, you guys can look at these numbers again. So everybody that's putting their bets down right now, you guys will be held accountable for the entirety of forever. So make sure you think about it properly, because I'll remember. Make sure you put it down right now, because I'm going to remember. And everybody, if you're, hey, Rover, you're still here. Everybody, if you're watching this right now, make sure you press that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. We have 200 people watching. Let's quickly get to 100 likes. Why not, right? What do we have to lose? So Rover says 6.2. We have XRP My Pants, a very nice name. 6.2 again. PB, 6.5 inches. Okay. Very nice. And that's about it for our guesses, huh? People are too scared. Oh, Lassa with the 6.4. 6.0 from Jesper. It's about to get pretty crazy in here, huh? Let's see. Man, I have so much stuff open as well. It's been crazy that I didn't make a video for so many days, and all of a sudden the news is just piling up. Yeah, I also had this, for example, SEC to target crypto firms operating as qualified custodians, because that whole department might actually be screwed from now on forward. I mean, Paxos is a pretty big deal, but you can just imagine that every single one of the companies akin to Paxos might actually be in for a little bit of a surprise. Then again, understand this. Read between the lines. According to those cited, a 5-member SEC panel will vote on February 15th on whether the proposal proceeds to the next stage. So tomorrow is going to be a very big deal, and I make a video about exactly what I expect to happen tomorrow. But according to a February 14th report from today, from Bloomberg citing people familiar with the matter, the securities regulator is working on a draft proposal that would make it difficult for crypto firms to hold digital assets on their clients' behalf as qualified custodians, meaning, I'm holding crypto basically for other people, for example. That then would become even more difficult and less allowed. And this has two sides. One perspective is they're not able to hold your crypto, so they can't lose it for you. And since you're last in line, or one of the last ones in line, you're safer. The opposite side is similar to banks, right? They hold your money. They're a custodian for you. It's kind of sketchy, because usually they get you some sort of return on things. It's like, if you're not allowed to let them keep your money, depending exactly on what the rules are there, a custodian is also what major institutions use because they don't want to be responsible for their own money. So there's insurances in place. I'd say if there's proper rules and proper insurances, why would it matter, right? And again, as I just told you, don't think that this whole battle against stablecoins has stopped and is stopping here. It's not being speculated that USDC might also be in for some surprise, I'd say. It's not been confirmed officially, but the USDC faces SEC enforcement amid stablecoin crackdown. It's just what's expected that this could be coming up here, that things of this nature could have another bit of trouble. On the opposite side, I'm thinking, well, if we look at Circle, the ones behind USDC's backings, right? I don't know if I can open them up. Circle backing, I guess. Let's see here. Circle company backing. I'm not sure if I can find the exact list of I guess I can look up two things: investor relations and partners. Let's see here if I am able to get a list. Might not be able to. I'm just looking up on Circle's website to see if I can get some sort of list going of all their partners and all their guys. Point being, however, they have some of the craziest backers in the world. Even Visa, MasterCard, and whatnot are partners of Circle. That I'm thinking they can't really take it down all the way as they can with Paxos. Paxos is obviously way smaller. They can try, though, right? But I don't think it's going to work, if you guys get my drift. They can attempt to kind of tinker it a little bit and get some sort of lawsuit going. But these guys also have infinite money. Whereas Paxos is a relatively smaller company. It's huge, but smaller. I mean, to fight the US SEC, you have to have some cojones. That's one thing. And you need the funds. You need the will to fight, which obviously Kraken did not have. Coinbase, however, said as well, if push comes to shove and they want to take down their product, they'll fight for it. Coinbase's staking services are not securities. We will happily defend this in court if needed. Big thumbs up for me for that one. Coinbase is usually not my most respected place, but for this statement, they definitely got my thumbs up. There was another little piece. John Deaton said, thought-provoking. What if BUSD as a security was a red herring all along? Stay with me for a minute. Looking at the case law, unless there are facts we are unaware of, it would be very challenging and nothing short of legal gymnastics to even attempt to argue BUSD on Paxos is a security. The case law can be found here. Everyone is looking at the Howey test, but the real meat of the matter is likely to be covered by a different case. Reeves et al. Versus Ernst & Young, found here. But bear in mind, a Wells notice is merely a formal letter of informing the recipient of an intention to litigate and providing an opportunity for respondents to provide cause as to why the SEC should not proceed. Now, the NYDFS gets wind of the SEC looking to litigate Paxos and immediately recognizes that it's the Binance-branded BUSD product on Paxos that's problematic. Instructs Paxos to no longer mint the stuff. That means only one thing. BUSD is literally a reverse Hotel California. You can't check in anytime you like. You can only leave. BUSD market cap can only go one way, 0. And because Binance took the decision to convert all USDT and USDC and all other stablecoin balances automatically to BUSD, and to be fair, there was an opt-out option, the bulk of trading pairs on Binance are tied to BUSD. Which would lead to a predictable fallout. BUSD leaves Binance, and with it, trading volume, which would necessarily affect BNB, which is what's led the recent sharp fall in BNB. Customers cash out their BUSD and sell BNB, leading to a self-fulfilling death spiral. Guys, what if this is indeed just a very big plan from the SEC to take down Binance? This has nothing to do with BUSD itself. They looked at it and like, you know what? We don't really know exactly what to place on this. We need to get Binance down some way. What can we fetch that's slightly close? And some guy in the room was like, BUSD. And everybody's like, oh, you stupid. And then, but. And then one guy was like, you know what? Let's just slap him with a lawsuit to see what happens. And all the guys were like nodding in agreement of like, you know what? I guess we can try. We're the SEC. What do we have to lose, right? And that's kind of how it came along, to kind of screw over Binance, because that's honestly what it seems like. There's no way to argue that BUSD is a security. Makes no sense. But then the NYD, why did they take down the minting? Just because that way it would go to 0. But that's like a certain death. But why? Anyway, which would lead to a predictable fallout. BUSD leaves Binance, and with the trading volume, customers cash out their BUSD and sell BNB, leading to a self-fulfilling death spiral. Users lose confidence in BUSD, and because BUSD flows are larger than other flows on Binance, this undermines Binance as an exchange, which undermines confidence in BNB. The US has already cut Binance's banking facilities, remember that? Yeah, they cut off the US dollar and whatnot, by forcing SL or SI and SBNY to sever ties. Same in Europe and other jurisdictions as well. Binance can't get access to USD to keep churning its exchange. Now it can't get access to USD via BUSD as well. Even without a single affidavit being filed, the SEC may have already been able to accomplish its mission of kneecapping Binance with nothing more than a Wells notice. Was that the goal to begin with? Mission accomplished. That's certainly something to think about here. I have not thought this through before, but it's something that's not actually stupid. Not stupid at all. That's actually a really crazy theory, but it makes sense though. Huh. And Jeff B says, Binance also mints BUSD itself. Well, it might mint it on chain or anything like that. There could be something, but they don't actually. So I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to say here. Everything is done by Paxos. And even though Binance might be like a secondary step, for example, getting it onto the right chain or doing something along those lines, they don't actually, or they're not involved with the process of actually creating new BUSD. It's all having to do with Paxos. And even though it's called Binance USD, it's wholly owned by Paxos. So, yeah, it's not as if it's up to them. And they can't really do too much either in that department. Guys, 30 more minutes until the U.S. inflation numbers are coming out. 30 more minutes until all hell breaks loose for the crypto markets. By the way, Ethereum, what an interesting price, huh? It's been going downhill for a little bit here. And the fun fact is, I saw a lot of you guys opening up massive shorts. We talked before about how you could get a nice little rebound off of the moving average here at potentially like $1,400, $1,410 or something like that. We've been watching that for a little while, and I would be so excited to actually get a rebound off of $1,400, so slightly below the moving average as well. For Ethereum, that would be very, very juicy in my own opinion. I don't think it's going to happen, depending on what happens with the inflation numbers, depending on a couple of small hints, but it would be pretty exciting. In regards to XRP, we already covered it. Yeah, it's just been making tops in this specific range here, roughly at 41 cents or so for such a long amount of time. You can see it. I kind of quickly joined the tops that we've been making time and time and time again. We had a slight little breakthrough, but those are still not unprecedented prices. We saw them back in May of 2022 as well. It's just been like this whole area we need to get past, and I'd say we need to get roughly to around 50 cents because those are prices we have not seen since November of 2022, but generally speaking, a crazy pump has not occurred since May of 2022, which is almost like, I don't know, like 8 months or so ago. I don't know exactly how many months, but a long freaking time ago already. We've been waiting. Albeit that right now prices are doing pretty well. We have broken through most of the trend lines that you can draw. We can draw new ones, but generally speaking, it's not as bullish as it once was. On the contrary, the trend, I'd say, is still positive unless we break through 33 cents. You can see right here, we had ourselves our major bottom, a new high that was created, another potentially major bottom before potentially a new high, which I hope is going to be roughly at 50 cents or so. I'm still expecting that as long as we do not close below 33 cents, which it's not going to do, these are just good buying opportunities, right? It's just buying yourself a higher low. We've set our base a little while ago at the end of the year, in November, December. This area when most cryptocurrencies set their base. XRP officially set its base all the way in June of last year, and it's actually been going upwards, which is not what most cryptos have been doing, but hey, it's special because of their lawsuit. I don't think it's going to make another lower low unless Bitcoin does, which again, I don't necessarily think is going to happen. We talked about it before about all different Bitcoin scenarios, but none of them really look as if it's going to actually get some sort of crazy crash like that going. It just doesn't seem very likely in any way, shape, or form. At least if you ask me, it doesn't seem likely that Bitcoin is going to actually take down $15,000 or so, in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, as long as that does not happen, which it's not looking like it will, XRP is just going to continue on with the bullish momentum that we've been seeing for a little while, and it's at a nice little bottom for ourselves. I just keep on buying and everything's easy. I don't know how to express this to people. As long as you just keep on buying, and I'll actually show this to you guys in an easier manner if I can. As long as you just keep on buying, which you can kind of see right here, you'll be extremely fine. All right, here's, for example, 2 tweets on the major bottom of things. This is November 21st and November 22nd on Bitcoin, but hey, it doesn't matter too much. What he said, Bitcoin seems extremely cheap right now on the 22nd, the major dip day, and the day before, I'm never giving up on crypto. Realistically speaking, there were a lot of people that exactly on this day said, you know what? I'm giving up. I'm done. I'm done with this stuff. I'm done with crypto. And look how far you would have gone if you just held on from that point up till about a week ago. 56% up. Even right now this second, on Bitcoin, you'd be up 40% in not even 3 months or so. Can you understand how much money that could be? Especially if you open long positions. Again, the reason I always have a long position open on Bitcoin right now as we speak, I have one open right now. I put it in my Telegram. People laughed, but hey, it's always a smart thing to do whenever we get dips like this. Let me quickly check. Just quickly checking what my when I open my long position right now. Again, I announced it yesterday in our Telegram. If you've not joined the Telegram yet, by the way, let me actually put a link up there for you guys. Because I'm not sharing so many trades or so many alerts or so. But whenever there's something very important, I'm going to share it in there. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to be that guy where you always have to look back and say, oh, is he trading now? Let me also follow exactly that. No, I don't want to be that guy. But I do want to give you guys insights whenever I think it's a smart decision. Right now, guys, I'm in 10.44% profit. I opened my, let's quickly check it out right here. Ooh, can I see multiple trades or what is happening here? Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice this. Yeah, so let me see if you guys can see this. I have to maybe change over my screen the opposite side. Anyway, can you guys see it like this? It's going to be mirrored. But right now we're in 10.44% profit on the trade that we made yesterday. Entry price 21.633 and current price 21.852 because it's a 10x long. Is that crazy? No. But sometimes these are very simple signs. Very simple signs. So all you have to do is look, okay, right now there was just a notice from, the NYDFS or whatever the name was. Took the markets down. Boom. I was a little bit too late to buy at 500, 21.5, about 21.6. Okay. We know every single time it came to this level, we had a little rebound. And you can see it here in the charts as well. Right now, we are rebounding off of one line. This is an extremely good position to buy at. Again, I would have preferred another $100 lower, but I couldn't get the chance to. Right now, even if we do end up breaking the line, I'll look for another good entry somewhere along the road. But right now, following most theories, this is an extremely cheap and good entry to catch ourselves a rebound, potentially all the way towards like $25,000 or so. So, is this difficult? No. And again, just check the Telegram here. I explained to you guys why I'm buying yesterday, I think it was, right? Let me see here. Good morning, everybody. Just as a side note, I've added a bit to my Bitcoin longs today. This is a different long position altogether. Mostly for the reason that U.S. crypto losses have brought us down a notch twice already this week. Last time I did, it notched back up to 22,000 pretty quickly. And this time around, again, I believe the same idea behind it all. And the same thing goes for buying any other pair, by the way, guys. You can buy almost every single pair, and it will have a similar result for you. Yeah. People need to realize, though, how simple sometimes trading can be. If you have the right set of information, it's sometimes pretty simple. I'm not going to say that trading in general is an easy thing, no. But I can say that often people don't realize how many set signs are there. And if you just only take the opportunities, which are almost certain are going to be golden, even though your trading frequency is not that high, your accuracy is ridiculously high. And if you're putting up larger tickets, still you're able to generate tons of profit off of just a couple of moves. It's something people don't understand. Now, Wick589 says, I finally reduced my XRP DCA to 0.75. I started my accumulation heavy in the bull. It used to be much higher. Yeah, I mean, props to you for getting it down that way. I've also said it before. I don't think it's too important to look at the highest price that you bought at. The most important piece is average price and just making sure you're comfortable with your allocation of crypto. So I'm not a financial advisor, right? But I've been in the space for a little while and I've worked with a lot of money. I've said this before. People sometimes laugh. People sometimes don't believe it, but it's what it is. And what you'll notice is that a lot of this does not have to do with your capabilities. It has to do with how you're able to, in terms of like, all the knowledge that you have to get things done. Many people have that same knowledge for exactly how to execute things. It's very often about your mental capacity for things, if you understand my drift. The theory and to do it in practice are two completely different things when it comes to managing large sums of money or trading your own money for that perspective. You have a strategy, for example, and just go around and ask, how many people have sometimes deviated from this strategy because of personal feelings? Right? With a trading strategy, the most important piece is to stay consistent and do exactly as you've practiced and as you've backtested, which has proven to work. Once you start thinking a lot about it and start to feel, no, maybe I should, that's when things go wrong. And the same thing goes for managing money. Have a good strategy, think it out properly, and execute. Don't start, wait a minute, maybe I should. Then you start to make mistakes, or sometimes you get uncomfortable. This is how people really hurt themselves because they overexpose because of feelings. Guys, understand this. I have a very good pocket of stablecoins right now as we speak still. It's maybe 15%, 20% or something like that of my portfolio. Is that smart? Depends. If the market rebounds like right now, like we're seeing right here, well, then I just wasted let's quickly check this out. I just wasted 20% times potentially 10x because of my leverage. But let's just say 20% for not risking the biscuit. But I have got 80%, sometimes more, maybe 85% of all the money that I have in cryptocurrencies and a couple other things, right? You guys know I like watches, like other stuff, but I have most of my money in crypto. I just need to have a sort of safety barrier for my mental capacity for in case things go down lower. And it's not because I don't want to expose myself to crypto, because the way I think about it, or expose myself to risk, the way I think about it is, I can only buy myself so many cryptocurrencies now that they're low. I'll make more money to spend on. Hey, by the way, we're pumping a little bit, I think. Some exchanges are going a little bit better than others. My trade is doing well, I think. Anyway, I'll get myself more money to buy things that I need, and I'll make more money. But to buy myself crypto at these prices, you might never have the chance to. But since we're in a little bit of an iffy period where we don't know if there's going to be a major index crash and if things are going to go completely wild in that nature, I'm keeping a side pocket for just in case things absolutely hit the fan and I need to go and insert a good amount of capital. You can see those guys like Robert Kiyosaki and Michael Burry, even though I don't necessarily agree with them on most parts, they have some good insights as to, yeah, the US dollar is not in the best of positions. We can get a crazy crash going not too far from now. It is something to watch out for. It is something to potentially have some capital ready for. And so if indeed we see major crashes, I am keeping a little bit of money outside. But that is also keeping in the back of my head that I've already got a huge sum of crypto because I've always thought this. The biggest mistakes that I've made was not being risky enough. And again, some people will look at this and think, why would you want to be risky? Because you'd make so much more money by just being a little bit riskier. If I had just listened to some of my friends a couple years ago and just put some money into I told you guys before, I made a $20 million mistake, and I sometimes still think about that. It doesn't matter too much now in the end of things, but I sometimes think, what if I just, because the 20 million is just some money, but it could have also been, how do you say it? Like, the 20 million could have then, in this bear run, for example, been, if I cashed it out then properly, you could have gotten from the bottom and it could have turned into 200 million over the next 2 years, for example, if you play it smart. If you guys understand the compound effect, that's what I'm looking for here. I had that mistake multiple times where sometimes it's large sums of money, sometimes it's not so large sums of money. And it all had to do with not understanding the opportunities in front and being too slow and too risk averse to act upon them. And I've said this more often. If you're a smart guy, for anybody that's watching right now, or gal, or whatever, don't overanalyze. People, and I think this is the truth, people that are a little bit smarter tend to overanalyze the situation, look at all the different risks associated, and then end up talking themselves out of it, or think, might not be a good thing to do. But if you now look at the amount of times I've sent a random stranger on the internet so ridiculously much money because the risk to reward said it would be a smart thing to do, yeah, it's worth that in the end, right? Whereas my logical sense would say that's a dumb thing to do. And things of that nature, where investing in a couple of crazy altcoins like Shiba Inu, for example, my common sense would say, Dusty, you ain't gonna do that because it's garbage. But then the degen side, which again in bull markets is just the best thing to think of, said, you know what, just try it out, see what happens. Was one of the best investments ROI-wise that I've ever made. And I've had that multiple times, where you sometimes have to kind of put your brain onto zero mode and just go for some of the riskier tries, which is why I share these degen type of cryptocurrencies with you guys on the channel sometimes as well, because in 2021, I've had multiple cryptos go 100x, 200x, 450x or so, meaning if you put $1,000 in, it turns to 450,000. You cannot get this with Bitcoin. You cannot get this with Ethereum. Potentially XRP can 100x over a couple of years, sure. I still think there's a lot of potential there. I still think so. But it can't do it as quickly as a lot of these altcoins will. And I just personally think it's worth it to try it out. Let me just rephrase it that way. I just think it's worth it to keep putting little bits of money, because what I've learned operating a VC is, again, this is not for the faint-hearted, but let's say you have 100 opportunities, you can fail 95% of them because the 5 that you succeed in will just completely out-earn all the money that you've lost over all the other picks. Is this smart? Depends. Depends on what opportunities you get. Depends on how you've managed your risk. And this is not for everybody, because losing a lot can hurt. In the bull market last time, I think I had like 80 different projects that I invested into that just failed. And one of my friends at a major VC in Netherlands one, I think they lost like 70 or 80 projects in a row, meaning they invested 100 times, for example. A lot of them were good, but then 70 times in a row, they just lost money. But still, with the whole strategy, it's worth it, because right afterwards, you, for example, get a 200x, meaning, you put in, let's say, $100,000 and you get a crazy amount of money out of it. That is if you lose a lot of money every single time as well, though, right? Because you need to have proper risk management. Why am I sharing this with you guys? Because I really wish everybody the best, and so many people are gatekeeping this knowledge from you. They're not telling you all these secrets, which I found out myself the hard way. And I really wish there would have been somebody to tell me, hey, take the leap, take a step. I'm not selling you anything, by the way, right? I'm not trying to, make you buy something. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you here that I've noticed worked out the best. And I really wish upon people to, if they have the means for it, to sometimes get a little bit out of the comfort zone and try some stuff out. Because you just might think yourself. And I'd rather have the regret, which I never regret things, but I'd rather have the regret of trying something that didn't work out than not trying it at all. And always having that thought of, what if I did this? What if I did that? Wick says AI is to this bull run as gaming tokens were the last big bull run. I made a video already on my channel about the big bull run, right? And why I think AI could be a very, very good pick. Now, AI right now is a trend, though. It might actually come down a little bit again as the bull market starts. But AI will make so many people rich. We even have the tweet about it open just now, because AI is going to do so much for people. Here, OpenAI and ChatGPT CEO says AI will make a lot of people rich. It's the truth. AI is going to make a lot of people some crazy amount of money. Albeit, I should also add here, if the market goes to shit, you want to be a little bit more risk averse. Like right now, for example, the market is in an iffy situation, even though I'm more inclined to go on the bullish side. Right now, I see Snowy says I got 80% of my portfolio in micro caps. That's a little bit riskier. A little bit. Just a little bit, right? It's the moment that things start to do really well again that I fully allocate. Right now, I've sold a lot of stable coins to altcoins already. But I'm going to go way crazier the moment that we start to see some uptick again once this SEC debacle is over. Like right now is a little bit of an iffy period. I'm going to wait a couple days, potentially weeks here after a lot of this scrutiny is over. Trata says, I've started doing this now, Dusty, with small projects, for example, XTP. A little bit of money for potential big rewards. I bought XTP too. Not a crazy amount of money. Some of my friends, like Martini Guy, I think he bought it really early. He might have already made millions off of that. I think so. I think he must have made at least $1 million or $2 million off of that. Already off of XTP, right? But I spoke to them and they're pretty cool guys. I bought some myself. Could do well. Is this something I recommend everybody to look into? You do your own thing, I didn't buy a crazy amount, so I'm not even sure. I shared it on Twitter, I think. But yeah, I'm just trying it out. And I do that with so many projects that I don't even share all of them. But yeah, it's a smart thing to do in my opinion. XTP specifically, is it going to work? I don't know. They have a good plan. They have good regulations. but I'm not sure exactly what the token is even used for. I just know the platform is pretty good, but I've not used it before. It's just whatever they've told me, right? I had a call with them. Usually whenever I want to invest, I do have a call with the guys to see. But that's also when you get access to these things, right? For example, if you're watching this right now, it might be more difficult to get in touch with somebody from Cardano, for example, and it's bigger, so it's easier to look up information. With smaller projects, especially if I ever make a video about it, it depends, right? Because in theory, I always try to reach out to anything I ever talk about. For example, XRP people, Ripple people, whatever. I've talked with them so often, but whenever I try to get an interview of sorts going, they always like cut me off at some point where it's like, okay, screw you guys then. With Cardano, they were always excited, but I don't know. I've asked you guys a lot if you would like to see it, and people were always going back to XRP. I'm not sure exactly who I need to interview at Cardano, but it's definitely possible. Those guys are awesome. Little side note. Internet Computer, those guys are pretty cool. And there's many of these projects which are actually having really, really cool people. Honestly, Ripple people have been, in my experience, the worst. Out of all crypto projects I've ever met, there was only one cool guy at Ripple. I don't know what his name was, but it was in Singapore. I met him. He was an awesome dude. Every other one I've met, and met at least, I think, 12 or 13 or so, they've all not been nice people to me. In comparison to every other crypto project I ever go to. They've always been, usually at a crypto conference or whatever, these guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. No, I second that. The other guys that I didn't like were the guys at Flare. As I said before, I think Flare might have good opportunities, but as of this point, I think Flare is pretty garbage. I don't like them. I don't like the project too much. They could change my mind, though, because maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe. So I'm not set in stone for that. But I don't think they were very nice in comparison to others. It is something nice to put out there. Sometimes you just look at somebody and think, you might be huffing your farts a little bit too much here. You might be feeling yourself a little bit too much. Yeah, and usually you don't see that. Especially because, again, when you're in the crypto space, there's going to be a lot of people that have so ridiculously much money, and you won't know it. Because a lot of these people are very privacy-oriented. But some people, when they get a little bit of success, they start huffing their own puffs, so to speak. And yeah, that's not so nice to be around such peoples. Is H-bar a good buy right now? H-bar is awesome, guys. I think H-bar is one of the best cryptocurrencies out there. We have 12 more minutes. Do you think AI projects are a good hold for the bull run? Yes, I think so. But we're going to have to see a little bit how AI and the trend of that goes over the next couple of weeks here. I'd say months, but let's just say weeks. Because AI was really, really big and booming from November on forward, right? But it might just be a peak. It kind of numbed down depending on what new advancements come out and what new technology and API usages people think about. The founder of ChatGPT looks like an AI. Fair enough. Fair enough. We have 12 more minutes. Lucas says they are not nice because they're not with the goal to sell or convince you of anything. The product sells itself. Hey, fair enough, my brother. Lucas, I'm going to stand for you and say that might be the truth. Could very well be true. I'm not going against that. It could very well be true. Again, whenever I say somebody was not nice, I'm not saying the product is bad or the people are bad. It's the experience that you've had, but it could also be based upon, for example, people look at my, let me see if I can find it here real quick. People look at my little thing on Twitter here, when I was with CZ in Paris, and think, oh, you must be one awkward ass dude because of the way we talked. This is just a very small clip from a longer conversation that was kind of like, I just asked him here at this little clip for like, let's say, for example, you were to meet Elon Musk. Yeah, what would you say to him? Like, yeah, you know, like, hey, what's up? Or something. And so we just reenacted, like, yeah, what would you do in that situation? Because if you meet somebody, like, that's with a high status, so to speak, very often it's just like, hey, hi. But then what are you going to say? What are you going to talk about? If you talk to Elon Musk about something, you're usually going to be like, you know, like, what can you really tell the guy that he's so interested in, so to speak? And the same thing kind of goes for CZ. We had our little conversation, just a normal one, but then what exactly do you talk about? Very often it's like, well, he doesn't want to talk about the Bitcoin price or Binance's future. You know all that stuff already. So what exactly can you ask him? And so we're kind of having a fun little discussion about Elon Musk. Point being, you get a very small snippet, and the same thing, I meet somebody for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and you get an idea. But it might have just been that they were awkward. Might have just been that they're not socially apt. Might just be this, might just be that. What's his favorite food? I might have asked him that. I don't remember exactly. All right, we had a couple of fun things. It was a longer conversation. I have the full thing still on my phone, but I was like, oh, who cares? But yeah, that was a fun thing. Because people look at this clip and think, oh, I'm an awkward ass guy. Whereas I would think, I'm not that awkward, usually. But, you know, so whenever I say the guys were not nice, please understand it's just a small snippet. What do you think of Vra? I don't actually hold that much. Veracity is the name, right? I don't know. But I reached out to them as well. I think I'm also talking to that team to see kind of what they're doing. Usually, again, what I do is I kind of text them to see, hey, can you guys give me like a rundown of exactly what you guys are doing, what the newest news is? Because usually I try to get news before some others get it, which is hard. But some projects, they like to give me the news before it's out. Then I can share it with you guys. And with them, I think I'm also talking to Veracity, but I'm not so sure about that. I think so, though. I think I reached out, or they reached out to me a little while ago. Hey, damn, Dusty, you're up early. It is almost 6 p.m., so I'm not so sure it's early, but sure. I'll give it to you, buddy. It is almost 6 p.m. Hey, what time is it for you guys right now watching? Inflation numbers in 9 more minutes. Everybody in the chat box real quick. What time is it for you? And everybody, if you're watching this right now and enjoying the stream, make sure you press that like button. We've had 1,100 people tune in total. So make sure you just quickly press the like button if you're watching this right now. We should instantly be able to get to 200. But some people, they gatekeep it. No worries. It doesn't matter. But everybody press that button right now. Let's see. Let's see how many people are actually, feeling the Valentine's Day spirit. There we go. 111. That's good enough. All right, we got ourselves people from all over the place. Even people at 9 p.m. Where in the world are you? Fury, where are you watching from? Where is it 9 p.m.? India or something. Maybe Singapore. I don't remember what the time zone in Singapore is. I think 4 hours further. Malaysia. Ah, there we go. I see. Orlando, Florida, 8:22. A lot of you guys are watching this in the morning. You guys are the real good ones, man. Anybody watching this from like Australia area? Hey, Malaysia, by the way. I wanted to go to Malaysia. I looked up a trip today to Malaysia just for fun, but I don't really have anything to do right there. So I'm like, maybe not. But I was looking to go to Malaysia. It looks like an awesome country, to be honest. Malaysia and Philippines both. They look awesome. I've never been. Tava is from Perth, Western Australia. And what's the time for you, Tava? Did you write it already? No, I don't see it. Rayford says 2:22 in Netherlands, Dusty. How you doing? Doing good, brother. Doing good. Come visit. We have amazing food. I'll come by. At least this year I'll go to Malaysia. I have to. Looks awesome. There's so many countries that are nice, though. But I think I'm going to go for a little Europe trip here in the next couple of days. Like maybe like Denmark and maybe Sweden or something like this. Something. Just stop by and say hi or something to, I don't know, local restaurants or whatever. I don't have any goal. Just for fun. Why not? Need to do something with your life, huh? Gary Gensler been the one releasing his balloons across the U.S. That's funny. I like that. Legendary Bullfrog says, Dusty, I'm still waiting for my training course in Dubai, Sensei. Guys, little side note for everybody that does not follow me on Twitter. First of all, inflation numbers in 5 minutes. Second of all, in the next bull market, what I think we're going to do, and I think I'm 99% certain for this, but there might be some amendments. I might do a different way. We'll have to see how that goes. But there's almost certain. We're going to fly 5 people to Dubai, to either my home or a hotel or something like this. I'm not so sure. Depends on what's wise. Because in theory, I can accommodate enough people in my home here, all right? There are enough rooms for 5 people. But I'm thinking, what is wisdom? And give them like a update course, trading philosophy, investing philosophy, whatever. Just everything that I know. I'm going to try to kind of like boot camp people in like a week or so, in a couple days. I'm not sure how much time people have. But we're just giving that away to 5 people in the big bull market. No requirements. I don't know how we're going to pick yet. Maybe just pick people that are actively in the chat sometimes, or people that deserve it the most. I don't know how we're going to see that yet. But we're going to do, I think, 5 people. In the same sense that we did a $10,000 giveaway last year. I'm thinking, well, I think for a $10,000 budget, I can get pretty far. Let's say $15,000. I should be able to get pretty far. And just teach them everything that I can think of. So hopefully they can better their life and help others in that sense. to also better their life again, like a little circle of things. Because I think, honestly, most of the skills in crypto are pretty easy to learn if somebody teaches it to you, which is why I said, I don't want to be a guy to sell courses, but I should, because it's so freaking useful. I've made so many videos explaining all my thoughts on how to get rich with crypto, yet people still are like, how do you do this, how do you do that? I'm like, oh, I should just have it in one set place, because some people really, yeah. Wick says, people give out their exact location and birthday like candy, but fraudsters can use that info, be careful. I think if you put up which city you're in, you're going to, generally speaking, be fine, but you're right. Maybe not. Maybe I should just do the time zone that you're in, because the time zone is going to be fine. Maybe not put the exact city. You might be right. Maybe it's not so smart to do. Fraudsters can use that info, be careful. Yeah, I guess. You might be smart. It's the same thing as saying which street. I guess a city is pretty broad, though. If you're saying, hey, I live in Dubai, good luck trying to use that again. Hey, I'm from Dallas. Good luck trying to fetch some information out of that then, you know. It's pretty broad, but sure. Ron says, pretty awesome of you, Dusty. Hope to win. Yeah, we could even do more people, right? Depends on how good the market is. Maybe, but it's going to be hard to teach 10 people at the same time. So maybe we're going to have to do it with 5. But yeah, it's going to be awesome, I think. Maaskantje. Lekker grap. Sean says, part of me wants to win, but I live in the U.S. and they hate trading. I think for people in the U.S. we'll think of something else, because the way I'm thinking about it, first of all, if you're in the U.S., most of my investing strategies are more difficult unless you're fine with opening up a foreign fund, but then you need to have more money. So I'm thinking if you're in the U.S., the strategies regarding trading are less useful because, first of all, you're not allowed to do much leverage. All the exchanges that I use, you're not allowed to use officially, right? And the major investing as a VC, again, it requires money. Or you either need to source for money, so you need to, raise money, or you need to have some sort of skills, which is a lot more steps than to teach somebody in like a couple of days. But it's still possible, I'd say. It's just a little bit harder. For everybody else, though, around the world, it's a lot easier. So if you're in the U.S., you have a little bit of an extra step to make it big in the crypto space. And everybody from freaking, like, only being able to watch this on their phone, having no laptop, obviously people have it harder as well. But if you have a laptop right now, you have a phone, an internet connection, boom, you should be doing well in life right now, guys, because opportunities are endless. 2 more minutes until the inflation number comes out. Let's quickly summarize. Again, the inflation numbers right now are expected to come out at 6.3%, down from 6.5, which it previously was. The month before it was 7.1. This is a relatively big decline in not that many months. We already expected it, though, as the interest rate numbers have been increasing time and time again, which obviously, even though lagging indicators, are to combat the massive inflation. If the numbers come out to be between 6.5 and 6.3, generally speaking, that is negative. I see no way in which the number is going to be above 6.5, so this is my end for that. If it's 6.3 or below, 6.3 being neutral territory, it's most likely going to be rather bullish, because then it's actually better, combating against inflation than was measured and than was expected, which would be pretty crazy and gets people quite optimistic. Understand that these times are extremely volatile, and usually the price can do something pretty erratic slightly before and slightly after, so keep that in the back of your head as well. But generally speaking, this is what we're thinking. All right. Slightly before, you can see some erratic movement, which can already start to happen right now, as it's 1 minute before. And if the numbers come out to be like we just said, let's actually open up 2 parts. So we'll keep it open here, and then we keep the trading view open here. Let's see if you guys can see everything. Nope. Good enough, I think. Good enough. So again, the number's just going to pop up here. I'm going to keep it open on the side here just to be sure as well. It should officially be there. It's not updating for some reason. 6.4. So it's actually higher. So that's theoretically speaking quite negative. Oh, yeah, there we are seeing it here. Oh, yeah. That's not good. But this one usually rebounds again in a little bit. But we expected this candle because it's 6.4. 6.4 was higher than the expected number. Price went down as expected. That was not good. That was not good at all. Wow. It's higher than the expected value. Expected value 6.3, down from 6.5. So right now what's happened is they did not combat inflation enough, right? Which is why the prices are going down. Why is it dumping right now? As we just said, because inflation, 6.4. It does not update on this part for some reason. Maybe this happens later. I have it open on the side, though, and it's 6.4. You can see it actually here. Not here yet for some reason. Oh. What does that do? Okay, the website might be a little bit broken. Not so sure exactly what's happening. But yeah, you understand why prices are going down. This is all quite logical. Usually it rebounds, though, so... Oh, we're already seeing one rebound. Look at the volatility here, guys. Look at that volatility. Now, one thing I can say is if you're waiting for a little bit of a better buying opportunity, right now you're getting a couple $100 discount, huh? Little side note. Is 6.4 down from last month. Last month was 6.5. You can see it right here. Previous number 6.5. Right now, last number 6.4. 6.5. Expected value 6.3. You guys can't see it perfectly, but just listen to me. And now it was higher than expected. Like I just predicted, usually the price goes down, but it rebounds. Usually the price kind of goes into equilibrium again. It goes like a little volatility, massiveness. But the moment that the numbers come out, whatever the number is, above expectation is price goes down, below expectation, vice versa. Because, you know, lower number is better. For interest rate and for inflation. It's kind of the same. Eric says in 2023, always have that cash on the side. But in 2024, you got to be all in. You know what? The moment that there are major signs showing that the market is recovering, I'm going to be investing so ridiculously much money that people will be scared. And what I mean with that is I'm going to share with you guys on this channel as well tips that I think will make so many people millionaires is going to be wild. They might have to make a documentary about what we've done. Why? Because I swear, I think the code is so easily, or there's just something broken. And I don't want to be that one guy to say the Matrix or something like this. But I don't understand how people that I just said have a laptop and a phone and internet connection can't make it big, especially if you're watching this video right now. You have the knowledge to be in the finance space and you want it, which is another very important part. Some people don't want it, doesn't matter. But some people want it. It's not that hard. But that's what we're going to... Guys, again, the next 6 months, just be prepared for what's coming. I'm going to share with you guys so much value. It's going to be insane. People's heads are going to blow up because our family here on this channel is going to do well. One thing I promise you right now is I'm going to share crazy amounts of value. I can promise you that right now. And I've already started on another channel, by the way, as well. Hopefully you guys have seen that. But there's only one video on it right now. Oh, no, a new video on there. But there's one video on there right now. Let me show it to you guys. Right here. I've already shared it with you guys before, but I just made 7 ways to get rich with AI in the next 12 months. Watch this if you're still questioning some pieces. And just kind of see the different opportunities that are out there in this world. Because, again, the world is so broad. You need to understand this. As I said, you need to understand this. Even if you're in the U.S., it's fine. But the U.S. is just sometimes a little bit harder for some opportunities. But generally speaking, if you're in the U.S., you probably have a couple of good pieces already. You know, you have a couple of good advantages of being easily connected to the rest of the world, I'd say. If we had to measure, who has an easier time? The guy in the U.S. that has to follow regulations, or the guy that's somewhere in the middle of, pick a place, Africa, has no laptop, has no internet connection, no phone? I'd say you in the U.S. have a little bit easier, So, depends, obviously, but you understand my drift in general. So, even though some messed up regulations might make it less easy than somebody from Europe, hey, still possible. There's enough people, there's enough freaking finance gurus in the US making crazy amounts of money in the sense, right? It's 6.4 down from, oh yeah, you already asked that. Crypto Bag Boy says, Dusty, ours is where your parents into investing. Who is your mentor? One of the most important things I said to you is learn from just checking out people online, I'd say. It doesn't necessarily matter what your parents were doing before because you need to kind of find your own path. I've said this before tons of times where I've had this YouTube channel since 2010, right? I've had it for a long freaking time. And throughout, I've tried many different things. I tried so much different stuff. A lot of that stuff didn't work. All of a sudden, the crypto stuff I found, I enjoyed it, and it kind of stuck with me, and I stayed with that. But throughout, I learned so much different things. I've tried so many ways to make money, so to speak. And now, things are obviously very different, but I've tried a lot of stuff. So, who is my mentor? I'd say just the freaking internet, right? The YouTubes, I guess, for teaching me so many different things. Every single time, I tried to go be a developer for a little while, for a couple years. You know, I went to study even at some point. It was also awesome. I used to download the freaking, back before I had YouTube Premium, right? I used to download on my phone. I still have it on my phone this day. A 9-hour Java tutorial. Why? I thought it was fun. Or, JavaScript for that matter, or C# and things, Python. I've taught myself all these different things at some point, which now I don't care about anymore. Linux. I've never had a Linux system. Still, I decided to learn how Linux works. Why? I don't know. I thought it might be useful for something. You can all find it on YouTube, though. If you're ever questioning something and you cannot find it on the internet, ooh, you're onto something really deep. Because most things you could just find, right? Dusty, can you do a challenge? Start with $1,000, give risky trades or holds to build 100,000 for you to play along or follow. I've actually done something along that before. In 2017, I think we did a 0 to a million challenge or something like this, or maybe 1,000 to 100,000. No, I think it was 0 to a million. I think I still have it on my channel. Let me see if we can find it. Let's see. I have it somewhere on my channel because we did a 0 to a million series before. I think I might have done 2 of them. Let me see if I can find it. 0 to a million. Yeah, it's the last double L. The last video of my 0 to a million series part 2 was the December of 2017. Obviously, that was at the end of the bull market as well. But the thing is, we used to go for some really risky picks at that point. Even Dogecoin is in the midst here, I see. And the reason I stopped with that is because people, okay, you have to understand. The reason I covered these gems on my channel, right, those 100x gems and whatnot, is because those are the best opportunities, easily by far. The thing is, though, the reason you want to kind of be careful is because many people don't understand all the disclaimers. So when I say, guys, I'm buying into this, you shouldn't, but you can look into it if you want. I'm just sharing my journey here. People sometimes think, okay, if I just follow exactly what he's saying in this video right now, it's all going to work out. Where partially that's true, but usually it's let's say I invest in 50 different projects and I forget to share 4 of them, and all of the 46 that I shared were all losers, and the 4 out of the 50 were winners, and I forgot to share those by accident, you're a loser. And now you think I'm a scammer or an idiot or something like this. That's the difficulty with covering every single thing. It's easier to just share whenever I have an easy opportunity, I share it. And I think that was also a thing with the 0 to a million series. It's like, well, I try to make a video, I think, every single day or so. But sometimes people lose and they get really, really scared or anxious and whatnot. And then I kind of numbed it down, I believe. But we might actually be able to do that again. The series had 64 episodes or so. I can see here one of them was 0 to a million 57. So, and I see a couple videos above there. So it might have been, let's see. I'm just checking the video out. It's Dusty here, back with another video on cryptocurrency. That's funny. How my voice has changed over the years as well, huh? Can you guys listen? Can you guys hear this? Hey guys, what's up? It's Dusty here, back with another video on cryptocurrencies. That's 6 years ago. Really funny. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I think so, right? I can't see. Does you think Zoom is a nice place to hold crypto? I personally don't use Zoom at all. Zoom. But it might be nice. I've never used it before. But it's also because I don't really do too much on the XRP Ledger stuff. I'm still looking into it sometimes, but most of the stuff on there is kind of garbage right now. It sounds like you're whispering. Let me try to play it louder then, because it's just a quiet video in comparison. It's a long-ass video as well. What was I talking about here? About gold. Yeah, the risk is I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about here. And a lot of my videos got deleted. If you guys remember, it's a compound interest.
BTC will be worth 64K.
Oh, my days. We talked here about investing. Let's see here. Investing $100 a day for 300 days. Yeah, to see what you'd be at in a year. Again, remember, this is 2017, and I was talking about trying to invest in Bitcoin every single day. It's kind of funny. Let's see what my oldest videos are. Can I still find them? Let's see. No, they're all deleted. Let's see. I have another series, though. Let's see. Again, a little fun fact for everybody. I have made so many videos. Like, for example, best 5 wallets. When was this? August 2017. But a lot of them have gotten deleted over time. Why? I don't know. This one had 9,000 views. This was one of my best performing videos at the time. Boom, deleted. That's so sad. I have 2 0 to a million series that I've done in the past. We might do that again then. I might want to do that again. That's really fun. You guys are right, though. We usually talked a lot about ICOs. Deleted video. Deleted. And it was not me deleting them. It's YouTube because of something that was in the video, but I don't know what. Yeah. Mostly buying ICOs, I see. That's mostly what we did. Which is kind of the same as what we're doing now, right? All right? It's buying cryptocurrencies before they launch. Because I think, honestly, that's the best way to make money in crypto. Warning sign, don't get your BTC stolen by hackers. What is this about?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Dusty here back with another crypto video. And in this one, I'm going to explain to you why you should watch out where you store your BTC and other crypto.
And then a little intro.
With the coolest commenter or a random.
Oh, this is funny to watch. Yeah, I never look back at this. So again, I have a log of videos for over 13 years now. And I have videos since I was a little kid in that sense, right? Because it's 13 years ago. And it's so funny. Well, whatever. I shouldn't keep you guys. What's wrong with the numbers? The numbers have already come out, my friend. It was 6.4. It was above expectation at 6.3. It was negative. That's why the price went down slightly. Didn't go down too much, only 1.5% within a minute or so, though. Right now, it's already rebounded 1%, which it usually does. It's almost always the exact same thing. Daniel IG says, 6 years ago is when I started listening to your YouTube channel. Hey, when did you guys find my channel? What year? Wick says, I even caught Dusty sniping coin drops a couple times. That requires too much attention. You mean those launches of those coins or what? You know, we used to have a series for the bot as well, if you guys remember that. Because we had a profit trailer bot, right? You guys remember that? Anybody? 3 best coins for 2018. That didn't work out well. 0 to a million in 2018 with cryptocurrencies. Let's see.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Dusty here back with another crypto video. And in this one, we're going to start the 0 to a million series all over again. And I'm going to explain to you some simple tricks how to get started with BTC when you have nothing at all.
Damn. I was adamant, guys. You see? I have lost some of this motivation. I guess to some degree. I don't really have to I don't really have to fight for it as much as I did back then, huh? That was so much fun though. Times were fun. Oh, I also have videos like how to trade crypto for $100 a day. All of those got deleted. I don't know why. I'm not sure what was in them. I didn't delete them, by the way. They're just deleted by YouTube. It says community guidelines, but yeah, what exactly? Unwanted content. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't promote anything. $10,000 in a day. How am I $10,000 in 5 days with crypto? I have some juicy log of videos here. This was 0 to a million episode 3. That would be pretty cool. I should look back at this. I should do this again. Guys, who would like a 0 to a million series again? I guess maybe $1,000.
What's up? It's Dusty. You're back with another crypto.
Yeah, damn. I might do that again, guys. I'm going to look into it, and I'll get you guys, again, another 0 to a million series or something of this sort. Joined when you were live streaming that XRP got pumped. I remember one of those live streams, guys. We had over 17,000, I think 18,000 people. That was one of the most anxious moments of my life. I like to speak, right? You guys know it. I like to be here, talk to you guys. But when there's 17,000 people watching you, I get a little bit iffy-wiffy. Because every time you sneeze, there's going to be 100 people saying, what just happened? Or things like that. That was really funny. 2020, 2018, 2021 last bull run. Early last year, 2019, 2021, 2020, 2021, 2021. Damn, a lot of you guys have been here for almost, for years now as well. Can you guys just realize? If you've joined in 2020, in my head, it feels like, oh, you just joined. But that's freaking 3 years ago. You guys are OGs. That is amazing, actually. Wow. And Wick says, he thought Ripple was going to settle in a couple of months. Yeah, if only, huh? Didn't we all? Didn't we all expect it to be over soon? But no, unfortunately, it took a severely long amount of time. It took ridiculously long. Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy just how long it took. Or how long it's been taken, I guess. Huh. Can we talk about CPI numbers? We already talked about everything that we needed to know. The expected value was 6.3. It came out on top at 6.4, which is bad, which is why the market dropped down. Usually, it kind of always actually, just look back. It kind of does either an instant swoop to either direction if it's 6.3, okay, plus, then it would go down. I did the opposite way. 6.3 minus, that would go up. And if it was 6.3, you understand my drift. I cannot draw with this thing right now. 6. You understand what I'm trying to say, right? But it didn't happen. So now it went down and that's it. It's I can't really make it more. I can't really tell you more. General direction for crypto, I think, is still upwards. I still have the long position open. I could have actually added to it just now when it was at 21.5. Might have actually been a smart thing to do, but I was too stupid. My long position is still open at 21.6. Still, for anybody watching right now, let's quickly check this out. If I'm still in profit or at loss. I'm still in 4% profit right now as we speak. Let's see if you guys can see it. And yeah, I'm just going to keep it open. I think Bitcoin will rebound again. I don't think anything major has come from the fact that it's 6.4. It's still a decrease from 6.5 to 6.4. We can look up the S&P and whatnot, but I don't care enough about that. I think crypto's on its own league right now. And in theory, higher inflation should be fine for crypto and lower inflation should be fine for it as well. It's like the general direction is upwards. Why am I saying both? Well, if inflation is up and it's high, Bitcoin is the answer, right? Cryptocurrencies are the answer. If inflation is down, though, major indices go up. So, well, that's good for crypto because people invest in it like stocks. So, it's the only way is up, in my own opinion. But yeah. Can you explain why there's a balloon hanging your monitor on the background? It's Valentine's Day, celebrate with a balloon. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to get some cool series back to you guys soon. 0 to a million has to happen again. I need to share that again. That was so awesome. Those were good times. I'm going to repeat that. We're trading TRX at the time. Oh, that's really funny. Wow. Whoa. What is happening here? Did you guys see that? Did it glitch for you guys too or no? Sorry, my screen just went completely glitchy. I wanted to say, look at this video. Can I? This is from one of the videos back in, I don't know, it says 5 years ago. I don't know the exact date. XRP's price, which at that point was still kind of called Ripple, was $3.65 at the making of this video. Which is really, it's just interesting to say the least. Cardano was $1.17, which was the highest point at the time. You can see, oh, you guys can't properly see. But yeah, Cardano's price was just peaking at that point. That's really funny. Again, I've been in the space for so much time that a lot of people have never even witnessed the XRP all-time high. They don't know how crazy a time this was when XRP was just peaking and going wild like this. These were awesome times, man. That was so fun to watch. Let's see, how many cryptos were at that point? 13 or 1,200, what's it say? 1,300 cryptocurrencies when we're making this video. Now there's 23,000. Oh, how times have changed, huh? How times have changed. I get nostalgic sometimes. I really do. All right, but I don't want to keep you guys up for too long. You guys were awesome, but otherwise we're just going to kind of keep sharing more stupid stuff. So I'm going to end it off here. I'll see you guys again later in another video or tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I've not created anything for a couple of days. I was kind of feeling sick a little bit, but we're good right now. Things are going to be awesome, and I'm going to share everything that I can with you guys in due course, so be prepared for that. And if you guys ever have suggestions for videos, just let me know in the comments. I read every single comment. I check everything out, so just do that. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video or stream or whatever later. And let me also know if you guys would appreciate like daily video or live stream every single day at the exact same time. So then I have some consistency and you guys know exactly when to tune in for one specific video or live stream every single day, always the exact same time. But then I need to know what time zone is best. I might do that though. I might think that's a good idea. But yeah, that's it for right now, guys. See y'all later in another one. Peace out, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by.